I'm Bomber Webb.
And I'm Christopher Olsen.
And we're talking local politics in Knysna.
And nothing about penguins. Dear Bomber.
Yes.
I don't know if you've ever been regarded as a serious man.
Oh, no.
That's the end of my sentence.
Once.
No, I know you have.
I have had people say to me, "Are you serious, man?"
I think I said that earlier.
Well,
while this podcast that we're starting now, that we're testing out now, is not necessarily going to be altogether too serious, it is going to have a bit more of a refined focus.
On local politics.
Yeah, let's do it on that.
Yeah.
No,
basically what happened was we had a couple of suggestions that the local politics, because there's so much going on, was dominating our This Week in Sedgefield.
Yeah.
And there were some people who didn't give a tinker's cuss for local politics. So
Well,
they
that's
were
it.
saying, come on, fill it with more exciting stuff like
penguins. Of course, penguins.
So do your politic talk on another podcast, and people can listen to it if they want to.
That's right. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going a little bit deeper with some of these political issues. It's something that I think we both find really super interesting, and we could talk at length about it, even just in our little area and kind of the outs of the broader area and this broader situation in South Africa and the world, and just how it affects us here in the Knysna municipality. So while we'll make mention of some of the bigger things that are happening in This Week in Sedgefield, also penguins.
Yes.
We're thinking of changing the name. I don't know. Let's see how it goes.
Yes. We won't be mentioning penguins in this one.
No. We won't even say the word penguin.
No,
not at all.
No penguins at all.
None at all.
Okay, no, that's fine. Let's get that.
So we'll give it a try. What we also want to do with this is be able to open up people's voices. How do you open up a voice?
Okay. Open up the corridor of conversation.
Oh, listen to you.
Yes.
The corridor of conversation. Could that be the name of the podcast?
Oh, could be. Yeah,
oh,
could be.
Okay. Well, we do. We want a name for the podcast as well. We want a lot of input in this because we see great value in discussion on political matters that leads to action, and a lot of community involvement in politics that leads to change.
Absolutely.
Isn't it just?
Well said. That was
Thank you very much.
Serious. This is all too serious.
This is very serious.
Well, let's kick off with we have a new mayor.
We do. We did.
Yes.
Oh, man. I was so excited about it, and then less.
Well, look, we went through that whole period, didn't we, where we had a mayor and then the court said, no, he mustn't be mayor anymore.
Yeah.
And was he going to step down? Wasn't he? And we had a few votes of no confidence that fell flat.
Yeah.
And then we finally had that vote of no confidence. We spoke at length about it.
Yeah.
Neil Lowe from EFF.
Well, he was seconding.
No, he
Wasn't
was
he?
proposing it.
Really?
Yes.
I thought it was Sabach that was proposing it.
No. It was Neil Lowe from EFF proposed it, and Mark Willems.
You're right. Mark Willems has seconded it. Thank you. Sorry, you're absolutely right.
From the
I had it
King
wrong.
Party.
Okay.
Yep. He seconded it. And so, he
And
was
it went
voted
through.
out.
He was?
It went through. And Thando Charles Matika. He's
Councillor
from the
Matika.
ANC the African National Congress, the ANC.
Yeah.
And in a meeting on the last day of last month, 28th of February, he was made mayor. Yeah.
Vote for mayor.
Okay, I can give you a bit of background. Matika served as the chairperson for the finance.
Hold on, this background this is from the municipality or the council's press release.
Yes, the municipality has announced it basically.
Yes,
so they gave some background.
Yeah, and a lot of patting on the back. It felt like I don't know if is that unfair,
but they have to.
Oh yeah. Look
you
how good we're doing.
We got a new mayor. He's not very bright, but he can lift heavy things. Yeah, you can't say that, can you?
Because it's not true. I don't know if he can lift heavy things.
I don't know either. I know.
I think he's very. You got to be bright to get to that position.
But look,
they've
painted a nice picture. Painted a nice picture of him.
Lovely. Good to hear you can paint.
I haven't got the picture here. But I believe it's very nice.
Sorry, this is supposed to be serious.
He was the chairperson of the Finance and Governance Committee until recently, managing to improve the municipality's financial situation under immense pressure.
Yeah, see, like that.
I think it was in a small room.
Paint me, paint me cynical on that one, because the finance and governance and unfunded budgets is what we had. It doesn't seem like it was managed super well.
Yeah,
I didn't keep my finger super on the pulse of it, but just on the little things that you see sticking out, it didn't look great. So that's I don't know, a bit of a strong statement from them.
I can understand your.
Weariness
and wariness.
Yeah.
Anyway, he said some stuff, so I'll tell you what he said. I accept this appointment with the understanding, he didn't say it like that, with the understanding that the success of our municipality is not reliant on the work of one individual or political party.
I agree.
But hinges on teamwork, shared vision, and a commitment to service. I know that the challenges ahead are great, but so is our collective ability to overcome them.
Sure.
Very good, hey?
Yes. Yeah, yes. No, it is. Those are a lot of the right words, but if your shared vision is just political power, then it's you're going to achieve that, but it's nailing down what that shared vision is, and it's been said again and again by all of the councillors. I'm pretty sure I've heard everyone, even your frog on your phone, is agreeing with this. I'm glad someone is. That they say, well, we got to do this to serve the people of Knysna, which sounds great. It's what everyone wants to hear, but has not necessarily been the case. I love that he is saying it, and one of the big distinctives, I think, was in that one as well, was shared responsibility with the community and working with the community. It's something that I saw Lavelle doing quite well and better, and there have been pockets of it just happening incredibly well. So I really hope that he is going to endorse that and fight for that.
Well, you talked about identifying the problems.
Yes.
And he does here.
Oh, good.
He says that we have problems with water security.
True.
Sewage and sanitation.
Yeah.
Roads and potholes. Housing and human settlements and financial stability are the main points that will be under discussion. Is there anything else?
Yeah.
Man, that's a lot of things to discuss.
I was going to be like, oh, cool. He's actually identified them quite correctly. But yes, what really else?
That's everything.
There's not tourism in there.
Oh, no. He didn't mention tourism.
Which it's very much affected by that. And education in there as well.
Well, here we go. He says, we will strengthen water infrastructure, reduce water losses, improve supply consistency, and work with stakeholders or any other people standing around a braai to ensure reliable access to water for all residents, households, and businesses.
Good.
Well, I hope it's good, because there's people in Sedgefield whose meters are still not working. They're prepaid water meters. It's
ridiculous.
So he's got to sort that out.
Yeah.
We will prioritize the upgrading of sewer infrastructure, improve maintenance services, and ensure that our communities do not suffer from preventable health hazards, and whilst also protecting our natural environment. I don't know if he means that he doesn't want communities to suffer while they are protecting the national environment.
Yeah, probably not.
Or the municipality is going to protect the natural environment.
Oh, I hope everyone will.
And there's there's a mention of potholes. So do you want to comment on that last mention?
Not even slightly. No. What I want to mention is how we're seeing, I think, key in this and in that are the infrastructure services. So could you let us know about the mayoral committee? Who's in there?
Okay, so we have a new mayoral committee. Yeah.
Can we point, is it safe to point fingers to one of the areas in the mayoral committee? Not necessarily the person as much as, let me just say with that,
Now, an interesting part of this is they have announced their mayoral committee, and you will remember last time we talked
I'll try to remember last time
we talked about the difference in salaries when you're on when you're a councillor, a normal councillor. The figure, remember, we talked about was 24,272 Rand a month.
Okay, yes.
As I said before, these were the 2023 figures, but I think they've only gone up by 6%.
I thought it was 3. Anyway, it was
or 3%. You're right. 3%, it is 3%.
Yeah.
So a councillor gets 24,272 per month. And if you're on the mayoral committee, you get 57,523 per month. So
it's a lot. It's plenty.
I think it's about 2.5 times.
Yeah.
In fact, it is. It's pretty dead on.
Yeah.
2.5 times the salary.
Oh, it's quite a lot. So we should expect a lot from them.
Yeah, and also keep that in mind when we announce the mayoral committee.
Yeah, and there are quite a few in there. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's 5 there's 6 including the mayor, but on his committee working with him are Beauty Charlie. She's the infrastructure services person.
She's infrastructure services, which hasn't had a director for a lot of the time, and
it's not good.
A lot of vacancies, and that's one of the big
it's one of the
trouble areas that we're going to very much keep a watch on.
Absolutely. And then you've got she's Patriotic Alliance.
Okay, I was going to ask.
The only other Patriotic Alliance councillor, Waleed Grootboom.
Yeah,
he's community services.
Okay,
Alberto Marby. The plaaslike besorgde inwoners is planning and economic development and tourism. Kay Andrews is ANC, finance and governance, and Neil Lowe, economic freedom fighters. He is integrated human settlements.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I wanted to read these names and the parties out is there's only 2 ANC people, the mayor and Kay Andrews, the finance and governance. The others are all of their
coalition
members.
Just all from the coalition. So
all from the coalition. So
there's
only
of
2
favors. Well, not favors of coalition.
Well, it does a bit.
Is it?
I have to say it does a bit. Kind of. It sounds like they are cementing their coalition.
Yeah. Which that'll do it.
It will do it because
now you're
saying that the 2 Patriotic Alliance councillors, there's only 2 in the council, and both those 2 will be earning the big money.
Yeah.
The PBI, Alberto Marby,
who again
PBI,
only won one.
I think there's only one.
Yeah.
There's only one councillor, and he is on the mayoral committee, so he'll be getting that salary as well.
Seems strange to me, honestly.
And Neil Lowe, the
yeah.
one and only EFF councillor, also on the mayoral committee.
Yeah.
So that means there's a good 5 or 6 ANC members that aren't on the mayoral committee.
I mean, glaringly sticking out from there is the missing previous mayor, which I assumed he would be on that mayoral committee.
Well, no, remember they formed a temporary mayoral committee, and he was on that.
Oh, he's on that, but that was for that was a 2 week, 2 weeks.
Yeah,
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And we were commenting that felt a bit dodgy because he was being removed as mayor, and in courts they said.
Yeah,
the court said he wasn't.
Yeah, that you shouldn't be.
Great.
That there should be fines. You should be removed from office. You should all of that. He said he was looking forward to coming back to being the Ward 6, just normal councillor. Then he was on that. Yeah, all quite strange.
So that does smack of cementing your mayoral committee. Matika did emphasise his commitment to accountability and transparency. I want to make clear to great residents of Greater Knysna that we are here to serve you. We will act and we will keep you informed.
And we'll try to keep them
every
accountable.
Step of the way.
Oh, sorry, I interrupted his quota. Yes,
and the coalition government is founded on principles of stability. He's saying all the right things.
That's it. I love to hear it. Man, I would love to see it. I would absolutely love to see it. Let's
I know
hear
we're
how
running
we
out of time. We've got.
No, I think we're fine. Let's go. The
DA have answered.
Yes, that's what I wanted to hear. What's their response to this? Because they're on the outs. Have been in a very weird place for the past few years. They got most of the votes, but they're not in power. They didn't get their coalition together quite enough, and it's been
they had the coalition. They got into power, and then somebody switched sides,
and that's all it took. Yeah.
Now I was surprised that they didn't put forward a candidate for the mayorship
because it was uncontested, right?
And
it says in the release it was completely
nobody else, no other candidates were put forward. So
why
they didn't even have to vote?
Why did that happen? Why?
I don't know.
That seems strange.
asked the question to myself.
Didn't get an answer
there. So I said, why didn't they put in a candidate? And someone, look, they put out a press release saying nothing's changed. It's all the same. It's the coalition of corruption. Nothing's going to change. And they called on the local government MEC, Anton Bredell, to place Knysna under administration.
Oh, they've been calling for that.
They want that. They're not happy at all.
Yep.
But they didn't put someone forward. What did they say? On their Facebook page where they released this statement. And it was written by Ryan Smith, the DA Knysna constituency head. An ex-DA councillor, Esme Jeffries. So she used to be in
wasn't she
I think she was Esme Edge at what? No, she wasn't.
Okay, so I'm thinking of someone else. Okay.
Esme Edge at that stage. Anyway, Esme Jeffries said, why on earth didn't the DA propose a candidate? And she called it totally unacceptable.
Yeah.
And she says, I think what a lot of us were thinking, even if they didn't get in.
I mean, there's like a very, very small percentage chance. Like it's very close to zero, but it's not zero.
I mean, I suppose all these coalition partners are all on the mayoral committee, so they're not going to join the vote.
No,
against their 57,000 rand versus 24,000 rand.
Unless you just needed a few people.
Person.
Yeah, one person, and that would change it.
To vote with their heart.
And honestly, that's possible.
Could even be a DA person.
An
ANC person.
It could even be.
It happened a few years back with DA people.
Well, I mean, we got the GNU.
Yes,
It's the miraculous has happened. Well, it's not truly miraculous because it's still going completely fraught. Yeah. But we got the GNU. We've got the people working together who said they would never work together. Yeah. And if that can happen on a grand scale, it should be able to happen here. But you don't. You miss all the shots you don't take there.
Yeah. Exactly right. So I do ask that question. Look. The on the same Facebook page, the Ryan Smith says, part of the problem is that the mandate, you have to have the numbers to make a difference.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And he says the mandate and the numbers remain with the coalition of corruption. He's basically saying, the DA believed that they didn't have the numbers at all. Maybe there was no whispers in the corridors of town hall saying...
This is days of our lives, man. There are always whispers.
He said, the solution is simple.
Very, very simple, yes.
Very simple.
Yep.
Vote for a party that has a track record of good governance, that is able to run our town in a responsible way. Further to this, a divided opposition and splitting the vote does not help.
Yeah, it doesn't help.
Well, I don't know. I think that's also a bit of a poke in the eye for their coalition partners. I think the Kim councillors have done well.
They've actually done a lot. I mean, that's Mark Willemse.
Mark Willemse and...
I can't remember the others now.
No, it's Suzanne, of course. Suzanne.
Oh, okay.
I just can't remember her surname.
Yeah.
But she, both of them, of Kim, Independent Movement.
Yeah. And they've done lots.
They've done lots. They raised some points in that council. I've always been impressed with them. Mark Willemse has often stood up and said, we can't carry on like this. We've got to work together.
And he's even used the word gatvol.
Yes, yeah.
I'm a gatvol, guys. And that's what
and Suzanne
want to hear that.
Got a very sharp legal mind.
Oh, cool.
She's often challenged things that the council has decided on. And I've heard her say, whoa, we cannot decide that.
Yeah, we can't do that.
Because we haven't got this information. I think they're worthwhile councillors. Saying that don't vote for anybody else except the DA. Look, I know it'll
that's what
boost
parties
the DA
do,
numbers.
Yeah.
But
you know what? I wouldn't for a second mind to see Mark Willemse as mayor if he would do it.
Well, he was mayor for a while.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That was before my time here in
that was the split. You see, when he was on the DA ticket, and he and another DA councillor voted against the DA caucus decision of ousting the DA mayor. So the caucus had said they will not oust their own mayor.
Yeah.
But Mark Willemse and another DA councillor who's no longer a councillor decided that they didn't think she was doing a good job and they were worried about dodgy behavior and they voted against their own party.
Sure.
My goodness, we had years of...
Really?
Because they wanted to oust him from the party.
Whoa.
They wanted, there was a whole...
Oh,
so
boy.
he was
gedunta.
mayor. He was mayor for a while.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Brilliant. Okay.
And I don't remember him being a bad one. He was mayor when we had the riots in Smutsville, the marches and what have you.
The 2018 or the ones before that.
I think it was
around
2016, 2017. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Which actually leads us on to
our discussion for just around the Surah.
The Surah.
And the report back. So we're just going to mention one note from here for today. Around this, because we had in the latest edition of The Age, the Surah was responding to the municipalities' 2023 and 2024 annual report back, and they raised some concerns. They acknowledged kind of areas that needed looking at, key performance areas.
And there was a lot of, we need to see the plan.
That was one of the big
more
things.
Details.
More transparency, and that's exactly what new mayor is saying. Matika is saying.
So hopefully they'll give more detailed plans.
And one of the big ones that we want to highlight on that has to do. You've got it listed there as number 6.
Yeah, the housing project. So this is always there's 2 housing projects.
Oh, is there? Where's the first one?
The Sedgefield
the informal
settlement.
Yes, okay.
And another housing project also in Smutsville. So these are the reason for the riots that we spoke about earlier.
Yeah.
Because politicians had made promises. Promises weren't being kept.
Yeah.
So the new dispensation of the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Part of the one housing project, 8 million, 6 million of the 8 million allocated.
Yes, allocated. So there was, the 1 year
was not spent. Yeah.
The 1 year it disappeared, and that's when there were not full on riots, but great concerns and action and protests.
Yeah. It was kind of moved to some other part of the budget.
Yes.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's like, we're going to spend this somewhere else.
And now it's still not being spent with great promises because it's being tied up in so much bureaucracy, man.
Yeah.
So much of that
is
what's letting us down.
And you know what happens to unspent funding from national government?
McDonald's.
Unspent funding goes to McDonald's.
It does, yeah.
Oh,
Happy Meals.
That's
why they're doing so well.
They take it back.
Yeah. And they say, well, you don't get it for next year.
Yeah, you didn't
Which is
spend it, we're taking it back.
No, it doesn't make sense.
So what they've asked for, the Sedgefield Ratepayers Association, and I take my hat off to them. I'm so glad.
They are fantastic.
They've put
so
in
appreciate
such a
them.
detailed report of a response to the municipality's budget. To the annual report, not the budget.
Yeah.
And they're basically saying... Well, they've said the significant underspend could have addressed local housing needs and improved the lives of many residents.
It's true.
We urge the municipality to explain why this allocation was not fully utilized and to ensure that the remaining funds are appropriately allocated and expended in the next financial year.
Yeah.
It was emphasized to the municipality that although 8 million was not enough, it was a good start. Now they've done so little with it.
So very little. A fraction of what needs to be done. It is urgent. It is incredibly urgent.
And it doesn't give hope. And then what happens? We get another riot or another march or whatever because people aren't happy. And I hate those riots and marches.
It's awful.
Because they are valid. They are so valid.
That's the issue. But there's so much frustration. It's a boiling
But all it does is make relationships in the village sour.
It really polarizes,
Yeah.
No, it does in a very, very big way.
We don't want that at
so
all.
what we want to see and what we're going to try to keep our finger on the pulse on, of course, is continuing to listen into these council meetings to see what the municipality is doing and to see if we can hold accountable along with all of these other incredible organizations, SRA, SRA, TAG, there's the Neisner, the one, what was up in Karatra, who's just, all of these guys,
are those guys?
We just want to say yes.
Neisner United.
Thank you very much. All of these guys and more. Let's see if we can continue to watch out for these guys.
Yes.
Hold accountable. Vote with our wallets and vote with our votes when the next one comes up.
And not mention penguins at all.
No, that's too silly.
Yeah, far too silly.
All right, Palmer. So thanks so much.
So we want to hear from people. Hey?
Yeah, we do. We want to hear from you. Send us voice notes.
How do they send voice notes?
Voice notes. You can drop us in the comments anything that you want to say. We've got a bit of a backlog that we want to be asking of ward councillors. So any questions you have of them, we're going to see how much of a contact, how much indication and how much contact we can have from some of the other, just from the council in general, municipality.
I because we're part of the media. We do have the ear of the communications.
Exactly.
Department of the Neisner municipality. So
we want to tug on that ear. Maybe a little nibble.
Yeah, we can forward questions to them.
That'll be great.
And see if we can get answers that we can play on the
I think that'll be brilliant. Can't wait to hear what people say. But otherwise, that does it for us for our political talks. That's been enough seriousness.
It sounds very grown up, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it? But I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too.
I like being able to not kind of rush through it.
Yes.
To kind of dissect it. I mean, we had a lot of other things that we wanted to speak about now, but there's always going to be a lot to speak about. So I'm looking forward to that.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Isn't it?